Welcome, everyone. This is a very special Co-Creators Convergence call, December 4th, 2016. And I think what I'm going to do here is, I'll go ahead and mute everyone. And
Okay, I got it.
you got it? Okay, well, that way it'll be easier for folks to enjoy this. Okay, all right. We welcome you here tonight, and a very special time. As you know, we're standing with our brothers and sisters in Standing Rock, and this is an unscheduled call, but we had two of our members, Kathy Mason, Boulder, Colorado, and Katherine Parker, also of Boulder, right outside Boulder, come forward and say they want to offer very special prayer and resonance alchemy. It may be different from anything you've ever experienced before, and but we know we're going to create a beautiful field here to send prayers. And we know that as a collective, bringing our hearts into coordinated rhythm and going deep within ourselves, that we continue the good news that's coming out of Standing Rock. So Bob, my name is Noelle Marshall, and with my beloved here, Bob Warner, we are co-founders, along with others, of the Co-Creators Convergence. And Bob, would you like to just offer a few words?
Welcome, everyone. We're very excited to be able to have this special time together this evening. And a number of you that are on the call are not familiar with the Co-Creators Convergence. I'll tell you briefly that the convergence of these souls began in 2013 when we gathered at Sunrise Ranch in Loveland, Colorado in the summer to celebrate with Barbara Marks Hubbard her Spiritual Leadership Award from Humanities Team. And we have now met 4 times in the summertime. We'll meet again this June 1st through 4th at Sunrise Ranch for our 5th annual, what we now call Co-Creators Live, because we're always connected in heart and spirit and energetically. And there are other ways that you can be a part of this community. We'd love to have you join us. We have a very active Facebook page, Co-Creators Convergence, that's active 24/7. We also have a website, co-creatorsconvergence.com, which has, we'll have this recording as well as all the recordings of our monthly third Thursday Zoom calls, and all the way back to 2014 where we had a couple a month. And so all the phone calls are archived at our Co-Creators Convergence website. And there's one other way. What is it? Calls, Facebook, website, and show up in June, and we'll all be together in circle at Summit Ranch. 4 ways to be a part of this community in addition to our connection in heart.
Thank you, Bob. And do you want to light the candle?
Sure.
We're going to have a candle that we're going to light here. It's going to be our bonfire candle. And just make this time. If anyone else has a candle and like to join in on us, that's wonderful.
I've got my candle going here.
Yay.
Thank you, Roxanne.
And
wonderful.
Because we're going to be, we're talking about the waters, the water that sustains us. We also brought some sacred water that we've collected from around the world, from very sacred places like the Nile and Glastonbury, the Bosnian Pyramid, Lake Titicaca. So if you have your water, you might want to presence that also for this call. So before we introduce our speaker, Katherine Parker, who has a very unique way of connecting, what I'm going to do is, some of you probably know that the Army Corps of Engineers just came out with a statement that it's just best for me to read it. I'm just going to put it up here. If you haven't, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to minimize that.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
While you're recording. Okay, no problem.
Alrighty. So
right. What we can do is this. So like that.
Okay. So so it says that the Army Corps of Engineers, I need to see the title here. This just came out December 4th, 2016. Army will not grant easement for Dakota Access Pipeline crossing. The Department of the Army will not approve an easement that would allow the proposed Dakota Access Pipeline to cross under Lake Oahe in North Dakota, the Army's Assistant Secretary for Civil Works announced today. Jo Ellen Darcy said she based her decision on a need to explore alternate routes for the Dakota Access Pipeline crossing. Her office had announced on November 14, 2016, that it was delaying the decision on the easement to allow for discussions with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, whose reservation lies 1/2 mile south of the proposed crossing. Tribal officials have expressed repeated concerns over the risk that a pipeline rupture or spill could pose to its water supply and treaty rights. Quote, although we have had continuing discussion and exchanges of new information with the Standing Rock Sioux and Dakota Access, it's clear that there's more work to do, Darcy said. The best way to complete that work responsibly and expeditiously is to explore alternate routes for the pipeline crossing. And it goes on from there, just another paragraph. So, Bob, can you bring us back? There we go. Thank you.
Sure.
That's awesome.
So while that is something to be very grateful for and very excited about, but as the Rumi poem, I don't remember the whole thing, but it says, don't go back to sleep. Don't go back to sleep. So we're going back and forth across the sill, but don't go back to sleep. So it's in this very special time. I give thanks for this news today. I give thanks for all the Standing Rock water protectors, the veterans who showed up today, all the civilians, all the supporters that have been out there. And I also give thanks to our CCC members, Kathy Mason and Katherine Parker, for coming forward for this very special time together. And without any further ado, Katherine, I'm going to pass it to you. And I want to thank everyone for being on this call. I think this is one of the largest calls we've had. So very grateful for all of you showing up, because I know some people think, oh, it's done, it's over. You know, we got the good news. But stay vigilant with us. And thank you all very much. Katherine?
Yeah, thank you so much, Noelle and Bob. That was a wonderful intro. And yes, we are all very, very grateful for this news today. And in a way, it feels like it certainly takes some of the pressure off. But at the same time, I totally agree with you. There's, and really, this whole situation is such a microcosm of a much bigger picture that's going on, all over the world, as we all know. So even though this is a wonderful victory, it's a small victory here, and we want to make sure to keep on expanding these victories. And it is about Standing Rock, but it's also about so many other things that are going on concurrently in this country and worldwide. So, and there's still 10,000 folks or so on the ground in Standing Rock in the freezing cold, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with them. But they have such, courage, and gosh, I'm just in total awe of everyone that's there. And I actually have a good friend that is there right now, and her son as well. So anyway, all the positive energy and blessings that we can send to all of them, the more the better. So for a lot of you have I've met and have worked with, and I know some of my longtime students are here on the call. tonight as well, but I know there are some of you that have not connected with me before and don't really probably know anything about resonance alchemy. So I just want to say a little bit before we get started about resonance alchemy, which is the healing work that I do. And it's not only healing work, but really about transformation and ascension. So, you know, spiritual transformation and transforming situations, you know, transforming the patterns that have developed over so many centuries, you know, in our culture and in our, not only in our thinking process, but in every aspect of our, you know, life. These patterns of separation that have, you know, been really keeping us from our full potential. And this is the time to really be going beyond these patterns of separation and moving towards this consciousness of unity. So that's what resonance alchemy is really all about. And the work that I do is based on a series of sacred syllables. This is a universal language of spirit that I was given in 1994 and continue to be given through my spirit guides, primarily from the Pleiades. So this is a universal star language, but it's also shared by all of the, you know, our galactic brothers and sisters, and it's a vibrational language. It's a language that conveys the frequency of what it is that the syllables represent. So by focusing on these sacred syllables, we're actually creating these energies that are the energies of unity, the energies of love, the energies that are have always been represented by what we call the tree of life. So that idea of the unification of spirit and matter. So these syllables, as my guides have said to me from the very beginning, are meant to be spoken internally. So it actually, they don't work as strongly through outer sound. So the invitation is to repeat the syllables silently, internally. And the frequencies of the syllables, when they're used in that way, seem to be more subtle, but also much more profound. And they seem to work, you know, very strongly. So for transforming any negative, lower vibrational energies and really bringing those energies into the frequency of, you know, higher unity and love. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell regarding the syllables. There's a lot more to do with the healing work itself, but the basis of the healing work that I do, as well as all the meditations that I teach and everything, is the use of these sacred syllables. So in this process tonight, I'm going to be using the syllables. I'll be guiding us first through a creation of a sacred circle. And this is something I always like to do, even in the healing work that I do. So that will all be out loud. And then I'll be encouraging everyone to focus on specific sacred syllables to create this resonant frequency for support and transformation and upliftment of all of the energies surrounding Standing Rock. So I guess I will say, does anyone have any questions about that before we begin? Someone, you guys are muted still. There you go. Okay. Hello?
Bob and Noelle are still muted.
Yes, there we go.
There we are.
There we are.
It's good for the. All right, would anyone like to have a comment or question or
share anything at all.
about what we're doing here tonight, or just your thoughts? Anything is welcome at this point.
Yeah, anything.
Okay, area code 3. Okay, all right, then are we ready to go? Should we mute, or is anyone?
Actually, I do have one thing. Darlis texted me and said there's a dowsing call at this time.
Okay.
And she thought that most of the people from the dowsing call would come off and come here,
Okay.
but it didn't work.
Okay.
So she'll have to listen to the recording.
Okay.
Bad.
Just so you know.
We can welcome them.
Yeah, we can welcome. They'll be
later.
joining later.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Very good.
And I have a request for you, Kathy. If you would be able to type out the syllables that we're going to be using.
I've already got them here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, and I put your website in the chat for everyone if they want to learn more about resonance alchemy. I put it in the chat.
Thank you. And will you put in the chat then, will you type in, oh yeah, bless your heart, when, if we're using a particular set of syllables, will you just type them in?
Yes, I've got the ones that we did last week.
Yeah, and we're going to be pretty much using those. So
okay, yeah, I've got them right here.
Okay, great. So if you're wondering how the syllables are spelled, they will be in the chat.
Unfortunately, we have more people on the phone than we do on the Zoom. They're not going to be able to.
Yeah, and I'll try to, also spell that out. So
yeah. So this.
Okay, great. I'd just like to begin here now by inviting everyone to tune in. Tune into your heart energy and take a few deep breaths. And I'd like to bring themselves into the energies of standing rock at this time. And we're going to create a sacred circle around standing rock. So just visualizing the 10,000 people that are there, all of the various tribes of indigenous peoples, all of the other people that have come in from so many different places on the planet. And bringing in all the veterans that have arrived, all the water protectors, and including in this sacred circle all of the townspeople of the towns nearby, the Army Corps of Engineers, the oil company people and employees, the militia, the police that are there, National Guard. We don't want to leave anyone out. We want to include and encircle everyone that is a player in this situation. And of course, bringing in the land itself, the the sacred land of the indigenous peoples there, the waters there that have been threatened by this proposal of the pipeline. And just all of the energies of Gaia that we are standing to protect, to honor. And now into this sacred circle, asking to bring in the energies of the north, the energies of silence, of inner guidance, of wisdom. And turning to the south, bringing in the energies of the south, openness, trust, the energy of moving outward. And turning to the east, we bring in the energies of awakening, of illumination. Turning to the west, we bring in the energies of mystery, of imagination. And turning now to the earth below, to Gaia herself, we bring in all the energies of Gaia, the energies of support, of grounding, of nourishment, of the mother. And turning to the heavens, to the skies, to the stars, the planets. To the skies above, we bring in the energies of spiritual help and guidance, of ascension, of all of the spirit beings that are watching over us. And in the middle of this sacred circle now, I'd like to have you visualize and imagine the tree of life, uniting all of the elements of the sacred circle. Just visualizing a powerful tree growing in the center of the circle with its roots connecting into all aspects of Gaia, especially the sacred waters. Sending down those roots, touching all areas of the planet. And the trunk of the tree of life connecting heaven and earth. That center of powerful, neutral, higher dimensional energy and mind, connecting the above and the below. Visualizing the branches, the leaves of the tree of life, just being an umbrella, connecting all peoples, all places within the sacred circle, connecting up into the stars, reaching and touching all the stars and out into the center of the galaxy. And into this sacred circle now, we ask to have the spirits of the animals join us, the spirits of the elementals, in particular the spirit of water, as it is so essential to life and so essential in this situation. We ask for the plant spirits to join us, the ancestors and sages. We ask for the presence of the angels, the archangels, and all of the Christed guides and masters of light and love who are supporting the manifestation of light, love, unity, and the new earth. And we give thanks for all of these energies as they surround us to fill and touch everyone within this great sacred circle of life. And I'd like to tune in now to have everyone tune in to the very highest source of creation, what I call the diamond heart of creation. And there are specific syllables for evoking these energies of this cosmic heart that connects us all. Sometimes this is known as the Great Central Sun, the source of love, of light, that is both the center of the cosmos and the center of each of our beings. So the sacred syllables for this diamond heart of creation and for aligning ourselves with this diamond heart of creation are Amor, Kri, Kur. Amor, Kri, Kur. That's AMOR, KRIAM. KUR. So I'm going to invite everyone now to just silently intone, repeat, recite these syllables. And you can do it however feels most comfortably to you. In concert with your breath is great. And just repeating them in a rhythm that feels right to you as we send these uniting heart energies of the diamond heart of creation into all of the beings present in Standing Rock at this time. Amor, Kri, Kur. Just seeing these energies uplift and warm and unify and open the hearts of everyone there, and bringing this higher energy of love and unity from the heart of creation. Amor, Kri, Kur. Just asking that every heart be touched by this beautiful centering, opening, steadying, unifying energy. Amor Kri Amkur. And focusing specifically now on the waters of this place. Let's bless the waters and the land with these energies. Amor Kri Amkur. Beautiful, beautiful. So as we tune any field to a higher vibration, it has a way of inviting anything that is not of that vibration to come to the surface, to be cleared, to be transformed. So there are some specific syllables that I use which will help to assist in any shadow energy that is a part of this situation. So much shadow coming to the surface here as we shift now. And the syllables are Ba, Mer, Al, Zam. Ba, Mer, Al, Zam. So what these syllables literally mean is the living heart lights the original essence of all creation. The living heart lights the original essence of all creation. And when we see a situation from the eyes of this higher energy of the living heart, just that seeing will actually transform the situation. So we're seeing through any dark energy, through any illusion, to the original essence of what really the Creator intended. And when we're seeing through the shadow can do nothing but be transformed. So just bringing in, inviting any shadow energy connected with the land there, connected with the um, the government involvement in this, with the corporations, of course, with any, um, all of the disrespect of the land, of the waters, all of these darker shadows that we have lived with for so many centuries here, just asking that these energies be transformed through the vision of the living heart and the light of the living heart. Amba Mer Alzam. And this also has an energy of basically the radical acceptance and forgiveness. Radical acceptance and forgiveness, just dissolving any of these shadow energies. Amba Mer Alzam. Any areas where this energy of separation, of duality, of disrespect for the land, for the people, is showing up. May that be transformed. Amba Mer Alzam. Any violence, any anger, any fear, just filling and resonating the sacred circle and every being within the circle with these energies. Amba Mer Alzam. Seeing all that darkness just transform into golden light and love. Beautiful, thank you. And I just want to mention here, it's been put forward, it was suggested by Matt Kahn, but it also is a petition that's going around through many different groups, that the one of the highest outcomes for this situation would certainly be President Obama declaring Standing Rock a national monument. And I think that is an awesome thought. So also, let's just take a moment to hold that vision as an even further, beautiful resolution to this situation. Standing Rock as a national monument to unity, to the power of the people working together, to honoring the land, to honoring the waters. And I would like to bring in one last piece here. After the election, so it was such a kind of a wake-up call, the results of the election, and everyone wondering, what's next and how do we move forward. And at this time, my guides brought forth a new set of syllables for us to work with. And they really are something quite different, and they hold the energy of what I would call the Sacred Heart Warrior. So it's really this kind of energy of sacred activism, you could say, which I know, pretty much all of us on this call certainly embrace. And these syllables are meant to strengthen that energy, which in the body is the core channel. And so it's that channel of subtle energy that runs from the top of the head down through the inside of the spine, down to the tailbone. And in the ancient teachings of the Hermetic teachings, the alchemical teachings, the teachings of the Kabbalah, this central channel is known as the it's the energy of the tree of life. It's the central channel of the Kabbalistic tree of life, and it's that energy of higher mind, that energy of it's a neutral energy that balances the right and left channels. It balances that energy of solar and lunar, active and passive, male, female, dark and light. And these, dualistic energies are always clashing with one another, and they really never get fully resolved until we're bringing in this higher energy, this neutral energy of higher mind that comes through the tree of life, that comes through the core channel. Because that's the energy that really brings that higher balance between, the the dualities that we experience in life. And so this set of syllables is really about a way of strengthening that core energy, that neutral energy of higher law is another way that we can say that. And being able to then act from that place of that higher balance. So the syllables are, there's two sets. The first is Tam Ba Lor, Tambalor. And this is basically the awakening, blossoming, coming forth of the pure heart. Tambalor, the resonance of the pure heart. And the second aspect of this is Pur Am Tor, Puramtor. And Pur Am Tor is, it's actually, we could call it like the sword of, higher truth. So Pur is, symbolically it's a sword, but it's that ability to come from that place of higher discernment, penetrating wisdom, cutting through illusion, all of those qualities that we associate with the sword. And so together these syllables really indicate that it is only the action, the being of the pure heart that can really wield this power of discernment, of right action in the world. And, really manifest it through action, the higher law, the, higher will of the divine. So, Tambalor Pur Am Tor. So I invite everyone to focus on your core channel, and you can activate your core channel by just tapping this point at the top of your head 9 times. And then we can enter it, tapping just below the collarbone and just below the navel 9 times. And so we can activate these energies within ourselves, and let's also visualize these energies being activated within all of the people there at Standing Rock. Both the water protectors and those that are, or maybe have been, we can say, kind of in the past, up to now, have been having a different agenda, an agenda of separation. So, Tambalor Pur Am Tor. And just bringing the energies down through the core channel and into the heart. That awakening the pure heart. And that heart warrior energy for acting in the world. Tambalor Pur Am Tor. Beautiful energies tonight. Thank you all so very much. And we ask that these energies be magnified a billion-fold, and that they be broadcast and resonated to all beings in all universes, in all timelines, all dimensions, all places and spaces for the highest good of all. And yeah, if anyone would like to say anything in closing or add anything, I welcome hearing from anyone. If you want to share any experiences.
Noel, and the mic is open.
When you were talking about the energy channel, that's the Kundalini energy channel. And it flows from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, and it rises with the change of the vibration of each one of the chakras. That's a process that you learn in yoga to balance each of the chakras so that the energy can flow.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, this is just a different way of working with that same channel and that same energy. So thank you. Yeah.
I'm so appreciative of this now because it's been such an emotional roller coaster, and anytime I can get a good hit of this good energy, it's making a very big difference, and I totally appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thanks.
We all feel that way.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob and Noel and Catherine.
And
Thank
I would
Thank
like
you.
to encourage everyone to use these syllables and write them down and use them in your own meditations, for yourself. And also, of course, continue to use them and send them to Standing Rock as you feel called to do so. But these are wonderful syllables, really, to keep us in a higher vibrational state right now. And we do need all the help we can get at this time, to keep our energies up, to keep our energies aligned. So especially the Amor Pre-Amor is very, very potent. I suggest that for everyone. And certainly the Tamba Lor Pur Tor. I found that to be very centering, very empowering, really. Grounding, but also, focusing, and just a way of really becoming fully present to whatever it is that we need to be, working with in any given moment. So,
Know where that's
No.
coming from, but Catherine, I just want to say that I really appreciate. I just felt so much love. Just felt, I want to love the water protectors as much as I want to love the people on the other side that
Yes.
are in opposition to them. And your meditation just, there is no separation, there is no boundary, and I just really felt that they were feeling what we were sending, I guess I want to say.
Yeah.
Very kind of.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
It was just very beautiful. Now I kind of feel sorry I said the word pray, because I just feel like this was so much just like an energy transfusion or something, an energy transmission versus a pray. But it was very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yes.
Had my heart going.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad. I never know what to call these things. You know, it's a prayer and it isn't. It is an energy transmission. So,
One
and
of the things, this is Bob, and one of the things that that so much of this has taught me, and I think so many others, is to the respect that the indigenous have for the land and for each other and for all relations, and that regardless of how media, others, and whatnot label this as protest, it in fact is that. It is the respect of all relations and through a prayerful and peaceful fashion. And so I really appreciate this Sacred Heart Warrior syllables and to carry that, because it's so important for all of us to be recognizing what unifies us, to recognize that those that it's so painful to watch are beating on fellow humans and or spraying them with pepper spray or whatnot, and to know that behind all of that equipment are people who have brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and mothers and fathers. And they also are made up of the same amount of water as each of us are, and they are all dependent on the water, the life of water, for their life as well. And so this is beautiful evening. Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I don't know. Yes, this is Talia. And I just wanted to share my experience of last night, yesterday. Our neighbor next door was, we were having conversation with, and I just feel like this is something that brings us all together, you know, not just the, you know, water protectors and the other people over there in Standing Rock, and us here. But people of differing views and just being able to talk about it. I mean, my neighbor, he's definitely, you know, very conservative, but we had never really been in conversation about how we felt about things before. And then here we were in the midst of, well, you know, just really feeling this strongly, this passion for what's happening there. And I have to say, my family is from the Dakotas, my father's side, and I just feel like I'm one of them. And just what is happening there is so much a part of me. And just being able to share that, and he listened, and he was able to say what he felt, which, there are a lot of people who feel like, well, maybe their Standing Rock will be blown up. Those were his words, and it just, oh my God, what is going on? And yet we listen to each other. So at least it opened us up with this time of talking and being present to each other. So this is so good. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine, and all of you for coming together here.
Thank you, Talia. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. I'd like to add one thing. Last week we ran into a friend here named Duncan Campbell, who is a world famous historian, and he's got a radio show, and he has been there and done interviews, and he said that this is the event of the 21st century that will define our future. He's been to Woodstock. He was there when the Kremlin switched. Was there at the Berlin Wall. I mean, this guy's been through personally as well as studying. And he said that this goes so far beyond the gathering of the tribes. It goes so far beyond the protection of the water. He said this is our humanity standing united against the dehumanization that's happened in our culture. And he said that we've got a great victory today, but that could just be one more delaying tactic for the future. And we know that these water protectors are there for the long haul for us. And the prayerfulness and the concern they have and the respect they have for everyone on the planet and the planet itself is so amazing. And it's just so humbling to see those people putting their life on the line for us and for generations of the future. And it just feels so good for us to be able to do what we can to contribute in this way, to support them with our love and with our energy, and support everyone, sending the energy to those who think the opposite way. And it's that love, that unity that's really going to mark the turning point in our future and really bring in that beautiful world of oneness and love and cooperation that we know that we're all here to bring forth. So thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Catherine. Again,
I think that the inspiration that they have been to all of us in having every right to be angry and defiant, and yet bringing forth such peace and love and desire to not just for themselves but for everyone. To me, that is the greatest thing I have seen in my entire life, to know that way out here they could have been justifiably so, and yet they have shown us the way to approach every problem that we have in the future and be successful. And that's, to me, what's so delightful about tonight, is that they actually won. This, whatever this is, I want to celebrate this fully, because we haven't had in my lifetime a success like this with this way of doing things ever. And I'm just ecstatic.
Thank you, Janet. Absolutely. We really,
And I had a vision that they would be the way showers for those of us who are caught up in the lies and the confusion and the sleepwalking. And this is, I saw that in a kind of a vision in just today. And I said, wow, they're really something special. They're a symbol of something to us. And when Ted said that, this was something that was going to go down in history, I just knew that early this morning when I was talking with the indigenous people on the board, and discussing things with them of what was going on and how much I appreciated them, and that they were the way showers. And Janet, you just said that, they are the way showers. And I think it's amazing to be living in this time. I just, I'm breathless with this sense of spirituality that is just overwhelming me. Thank you.
I'm appreciative of this whole call tonight, and I agree with everything that you have all been saying, and I also want to reiterate that this is, today, what has happened is a beginning and a step forward, but it isn't an end result. It's just a pause in what needs to be done. And yes, let's take lessons from them. Let's learn from them, and let's continue it and move it forward. But I encourage everyone to listen to the recording of this and keep using these syllables every day until, I know that we're always supposed to focus on what is the highest good, but I can't help but being a little bit attached to the idea that the highest good would be that there would be no pipeline anywhere entering across the border into the United States from Canada at all. So this is what they announced today, only keeps it off of the reservation. It doesn't keep it from being built. It doesn't keep it from harming the water table. So let's stay focused on the large picture and take all of this positive, loving energy and keep using it. and working with it. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. I also want to mention, I see that our niece, Joanna, has joined us. She has done 2 tours in Iraq. She's a helicopter mechanic and beautiful, beautiful bee. So just want to acknowledge Joanna and all the veterans that are out there. And I don't know if that was a tipping point for what happened today, but you know, it's brought together so many groups, and I'm just so thankful. You know, I don't know what Joanna's experience was, but you know, I see so many young people go into the military, and then they see a different side of what our government and what they're doing, and it's just, you know, Veterans for Peace and some of these other organizations are just, you know, regular old veterans who are just going like, look, this is how our country operates, and standing up for the people, standing up for those without a voice. And so I just want to thank you, Joanna, and all the veterans that came out as well.
I think I do wonder if that is a big part of what started the catalyst for this change and for the acceptance that this is not okay, this is not a way you treat people, was when you had veterans who have gone to third world countries and saw how dictatorships and tyranny operated, and then it's being brought onto our own home turf. Of course, no one's going to be okay with this. And I think when it first started, I first heard about it in October, and I saw video clips of attack dogs being sent out on peaceful protesters, and there had been no accounts of anything turning violent yet. And it just like hurt my heart to see this, that this is supposed to be a country of the free, and we're sending people out who are not violating any laws whatsoever, and we're treating them like they're criminals. So I think as the months have gone on since then, I've seen more and more support from veterans. And finally, a few weeks ago, a gentleman named Michael Wood, who was a Baltimore police officer and saw everything that happened there and retired ultimately because of the racial injustice that was going on within the police department, and has been fighting for social reform and police reform on the treatment of minorities and such. And so once he got us organized, we were there, and just to see the fact that they went from, I think 2 weeks ago they had maybe 3,000 people, and now they're 10,000 strong out there. It's just been so joyous, and I just felt this spirit of gratitude today when I woke up, seeing that finally the Army Corps of Engineers has gotten rid of their agreement and said, we're going to rethink this. This has obviously gone way out of hand. They've angered so many people because of this and because of the blatant disrespect. And so just this joy has been filled with my heart, and I had to come on this call and just be with people of like mind and like gratitude, just to hear them and spread just this joy throughout and send these energies out to the people there, even though I personally couldn't be there when my heart called me to go. But unfortunately, I have responsibilities, but this is the next best thing. And thank you all for having me on this call.
We love you, Joanna.
Love you too. Thank you so much. So much. Yeah.
I'd really like to honor also the both the example that Standing Rock has brought us and this and other places. And Janet through Spirit and Noelle and I at the Goddess Gathering on the Mall recently. And the example at Standing Rock that shows how significantly the role of women, elder women, young women, women of courage and conviction and love, standing in love, are in leading us into a new time. And there are women in the military, the conferences that Noelle and I have gone to on a world after wars that is led primarily by women. And I really Code Pink, and I really like to acknowledge how significant that is. And it is this indigenous culture that this is not something new. This is something that has been known for ages. That there's a role for all of us and a way, but there's more importantly a way of being for all of us, and just beautiful examples that are being provided through this time. And as mentioned, this is simply another step along the journey of humanity, that there's more ahead and there's more for each of us to be and more of us for each of us to do. So thank you. I'm complete.
Does anyone else want to join, say a comment before we close?
I'll just jump in very quickly
Okay,
before you close, Noel. I wanted Catherine to know, and the rest of you obviously, I have Native heritage, as I'm sure some of you do, and in the summer, I spend a great deal of time in Canada. I'm real close by here in Michigan, and I have a trailer at a campground there that is just next door to a reservation, to a First Nation reservation. And so I'm always aware of the dialogue between the members of the First Nation and the Canadians over the rights of the land near Lake Huron, the beach, the land that is, is worked with through the province, through the provincial government, as well as the two reservations that are there. That said, I go to powwows when I'm over there in the summer. And I saw one of the Facebook pieces the other day with the drum circle, and mentioned on Facebook, and mentioned that the drum circle always makes me cry. I cry when I'm at the powwow. I did it when I saw it on Facebook because it's such a strong connection for me. It's a direct heart connection to my ancestors. And what you allowed for me this evening, and hopefully for others, is through the energy that we're doing, it was an incredibly powerful connection to those who are at Standing Rock, everyone who is at Standing Rock, but especially to the Native population. And it was more than meaningful for me, and I thank you for
that. So glad.
Sheila Blake, did you want to jump in here?
Sure. I wasn't able to get in this morning when they did the prayer. We were having difficulty, and I was actually at a Native American ranch. We had done sweat lodge ceremony last night in a women's gathering, and decided that instead of doing our morning ceremony, we would join with Standing Rock. Couldn't do the connection, so instead we spent about 45 minutes in a silent meditation, and it was so powerful. And then to come home after that and get the news, it was just incredible. I'm so happy that people all over the world came together in prayer today, and they announced today the change. So it's the miracle to me of all these hearts united.
I never think a government worker working on Sunday, Oh, okay.
Will the syllables be written down somewhere? Because I got so involved I did not write them down.
You know what? How do you think is best to do that?
Will she share it on Facebook?
We can, Ted, you're muted. We could post them underneath the call. Oh, okay. Let me unmute him.
Okay. We put them in the chat.
Yeah.
So Barb, if you can you can actually click down at the bottom bar by the share screen green icon.
It says chat.
On the right-hand side, you click that where it says chat.
I'm not seeing the chat on here. I'm on an iPad.
Okay.
Well, do you see
when I post the call?
Okay. Okay.
When I
will post them, we'll do that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'll make sure it gets on there. And if you look at this replay, if you listen to this replay because you want to hear Catherine's magnificent message and voice, I also have the chat screen on the screen, and you can read it.
Okay.
So, but I'll make sure it's posted when we repost this, when we post the recording.
Thank you.
So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess we
Thank
should.
you.
Thank you, Catherine.
So,
Thank you,
much
everyone.
gratitude.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
everyone.
That's
It's
wonderful.
so wonderful to see these faces. And you people that are just phones, you're good too.